Hello. Hi. Welcome. Happy Crimson Tuesday. We were so close to being on time today. It's insane. Good to see everyone so far. Wow. Mousimus, hello. Lockdown Con, good to see you. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly review the awesome panel that I got to be on today. I'm not today. Today I'm going to do it, but the awesome panel was on Saturday. So I'm glad you're here because I'm going to briefly talk about that. Amberzine, good to see you. Um, Artistic Coolies, hello, good to see you as well. Yeah, awesome. Today is an art stream, and I'll be doing some more pixel art with Adobe Photoshop, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about another mineral, and that's going to come a little bit later. First is going to be talking about Lockdown Con and how awesome that was this past weekend. Justin Paul Sear, howdy, good to see you. Cosmo43, heya. Skeevy Wonder, hi, good to see you. Jim Plays Games, yes, happy Crimson Tuesday. And please let me know, as usual, if the sound is not as it should be, etc. Let's see, so far. Looking at my notes. Developer update. So, yes, I'm kind of slightly overhauling Chapter 4 a little bit. Um, I've made mention that Chapter 4, as with the rest of the chapters, there are sort of main objectives that the player kind of gets steered through via the notebook feature that kind of tells you what to do to progress through the chapter. But just about every chapter has extra things you can do that you can listen in on conversations or explore and things, and generally find out more about the story and the characters than you would otherwise. And what I realized for chapter 4 is what I had considered the main progression versus the optional stuff. The optional stuff was actually what should have been the main progression line in the first place, so I'm kind of reassembling that at this point, which is good. It's good to kind of realize when things need a little bit of adjustment, changing around. And because, it's me just doing it, I can do that and not have to ask anybody. Jim Plays Games, you might not be able to stick around long, but you're going to bed early. Oh, thanks for stopping by. I always appreciate when you stop by. And also, Jim Plays Games I can shout out as well. The hand cannon of Destiny was too OP. Millicent Braylow, yeah, for the Crimson Diamond, I had to do some of my own adjustments. Yeah, the playtesters were complaining. Shout out at Jim Plays Games. Jim Plays Games. Why isn't that working? Jim Plays Games. Nope. Okay, is that gonna work? Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, so I've already shouted out Lockdown Con. Neil Halford hosted an awesome Lockdown Con this past weekend, and I guess I should introduce myself before I mention the panel, etc. Um, I am Julia Minamata. Welcome to stream. Um, I am a solo indie game dev, and I'm working on the Crimson Diamond, which is what you see behind me. And I'll be running the trailer to give you an idea of the kind of gameplay it is, in case you're not familiar with adventure games from the late 80s and early 90s. But yeah, I'm working on it by myself pretty much. I have Dan Polakar, my musician, working on it as well. And so he's doing the music, and I'm kind of doing everything else. And it's been really good. It's been super educational so far. And yeah, so I guess because I'm an indie dev, Neil invited me to be on the first panel of Lockdown Con this past Saturday, which was the Indie Games Revolution, and I got to be on this awesome panel with 5 other indie devs. Some of them work in AAA, some of them kind of work on their own projects for the most part, and it was a really good cross section of the industry, I think, from people who have been working for decades, and for someone like me who has only been working in the games industry for maybe 2 or 3 years, really, here and there. But so I learned a lot, and I actually learned a lot about the panelists too. Oh, Dr. Mikachu. Thank you. My gosh, raid. Thank you for the raid. Fantastic. I really appreciate it. Dr. Mikachu is another really awesome streamer. An awesome streamer. She is a game dev as well, and an indie game dev as well. and she works on a bunch of different engines. She works in and shows that process of game development on her channel, from design doc to artwork to coding and everything. And so she's super knowledgeable about that kind of stuff, and it's super educational to sit on her streams. And her streams are really well produced too. So let's see. I'm gonna shout out Dr. Mikachu. Thank you, Dr. Mikachu. Okay. Oh, Lopar Panda, thanks for the follow. Eleanor Wolf, thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, please check out Dr. Mikachu if you can get a chance when she streams. It's, yeah, like I said, super educational, a super fun stream. Really well integrated Twitch functions, which I still have to learn so much about. Eating with Untold Rumor, Julia has a bunch of gaming gnomes who sneak in the middle of the night and code on her game. I wish. I wish. Because I think I'd be a little bit further along had that been the case. But if you know any little gaming gnomes who can work at night, please forward their resumes. Evil Tentacle, hello. Diavor, good to see you. Yeah, the having to keep resubscribe with Amazon, the Twitch Prime thing is a bit of a hassle, and I keep forgetting to. Oh, good, Dr. Mikachu, if you could train coding gnomes, that also would be super helpful. Oh, Tracy Facey, thanks for hosting. Thank you. Yeah, we're just getting started. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Lockdown Con. So hold on, I've got like a little show and tell thing. Where is it? Are there green gems? No. What was it? This is the dark side of the prep. Where is that? Okay, yes. Here it is. Okay. I should be better prepared. Blaholtzen! Awesome, thanks for the raid. Blaholtzen, amazing. Another fellow pixel artist who does amazing work with different kinds of palettes. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly talk about Lockdown Con 2, which was the past weekend. And yeah, so here are the people on the panel. And it was amazing to kind of hang out with them. I'm just going to go to a quick screen grab of what that looked like. That's all of us that were there. It was a super fun time. And I just want to go down the line of everyone who was on the panel, because I think they're all really cool and all their projects are really cool. And I've got I actually made a little lockdown panel thing here. Blaholtz and Happy Crimson Tuesday. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Wait. I prepare and then lock down panel. Okay, yes. So in chat, those are the links to not only Neil but all the panelists who were there on that Saturday panel. If you want to check out their projects, I'm gonna quickly run them down, because there was only so much time. It was a 50-minute panel, and there were 7 of us, so there was only so much we could talk about. So I actually looked into what everyone was doing, and everything was super cool. Yeah, Jim plays games. I think Nightbot he's throwing down. Yeah, the Saturday the stream. The VOD on YouTube. There's a link. There's 2 links. There's one for the Saturday video on demand, and there's one for the Sunday video on demand. And yeah, so I'm in the first panel, and then Dan is on the composer panel. That was the last panel of the day on Sunday. Okay, so we have Neil Halford, who is like a legendary games person, because he worked on Betrayal at Krondor, which is a beloved classic. I have to admit I have not played Betrayal at Krondor. I'm a bit ashamed about that, but I know it's one of the most fantastic role-playing games on PC. And so he was amazing. He was really good at organizing everything leading up to the event and during the event and everything like that. So if Neil approaches you and invites you to be on a panel sometime, say yes, because it was just a super smooth experience. Oh, Dr. Mikachu, you played Betrayal at Antara. And I know there was a Return to Krondor as well. Yes, I'm going to run them down. I'm going to run down the panelists. Yeah, eating with is 7.5 minutes per person for 1 hour. Yeah, something like that. Oh, Blaholt. Yes, I saw Blaholt, and I saw you were in the Twitch stream of it. And I wanted to say hello, but I had to pay attention to the panel. So unfortunately, I saw you were representing with the dancing maple emoji. So thank you very much. Okay, next up we have Damian Mozetić, who is working on Call of Saragnar, and Call of Saragnar is actually what I have this prepped so that I have their tabs open already. Did I close the tabs? Don't tell me I closed the tabs. No, okay. Right. So we have here is Lockdown Con. Tabs. No, okay. Right. So we have here is Lockdown. Okay. So yeah, here is the Lockdown Con site, which is really good. We have here and the whole schedule and everything, and a really great breakdown of all the panels that were there. We have Neil Halford's. He's got a bunch of links. He's got a Twitter as well, but this is one of his project pages. Definitely check out his stuff. Does super cool things. Here is Damian's project Call of Saragnar, which is basically him and a musician, which is kind of amazing. And the musician on Call of Saragnar, Tony Manfredonia, was on the composer panel with Dan. So that was kind of really cool to see too. And what it is, it's a 90s old school looking role-playing game. And it's amazing that nowadays with the tools available, like such small teams could produce something that basically kind of looks like Morrowind quality. So it's a really fascinating project, and they've done some amazing things with the resources that they have. So that's Call of Saragnar with Damian. Next we had Chris Taylor, who's working on Kanugi. So Kanugi is really cool. It reminds me of Silicon Valley, what Pied Piper was doing on Silicon Valley, because Kanugi is a cloud-based gaming program that runs in browser. And what's amazing about it is, yeah, you can play all kinds of games on any type of mobile device. Compatibility isn't an issue. Latency is not an issue. And it doesn't store anything on your phone or whatever device you're using. And it's kind of brilliant. What else can I tell you about this? He's working on a game for it called Intergalactic Space Empire, which is a real-time strategy game. He does handmade pottery, which I have to check out his Instagram for that, because I love pottery and sculpting myself. This is Chris Taylor. What else can we say? And yeah, it's not about high-end 3D graphics, and in fact, I would say that none of the panelists are really working with high-end 3D graphics. And of course, when you're indie with a smaller budget and you're a team of one or only a few people, that's one of the things that I don't want to say it gets sacrificed, because I think I actually like simpler graphics. Of course, that's coming from me using the EGA palette in 320 by 200 pixel resolution. But I think for everyone on the panel, gameplay is number one. And so that was what we all had in common, even though we come from very different backgrounds. Yes, it was a middle out a loner wolf for Silicon Valley. Sakana Cow, good to see you. Good evening. Yeah, middle out with Silicon Valley. But yeah, this is cool. It's a cloud-based platform here. And you can join the beta for Intergalactic Space Empire. And yeah, he's been in the industry for a while and let's see. Yeah. So it's continually in development. But the tech is really cool. And of course, he would love to see other games on the platform that as well have kind of more, not the top end graphics requirements. And I can see Crimson Diamond being a good fit for this as well. It's a C++, runs in all browsers. And I love browser-based programs. I've mentioned before, Adventuron is a great game engine that runs in browser. I use FontStruct to design the font for the Crimson Diamond, and that's a browser-based application as well. And Playdate Pulp, which is Playdate's really super easy, user-friendly developer app that they will be releasing alongside the Playdate, is also a browser app. Yeah, Loner Wolf, balancing gameplay versus art fidelity can be a struggle without realistic expectations. Yes. Oh, cool. You Lockdown Con. Neil, so Chris was the only person on the panel who's been doing it even longer than you have? Nice. Nice. Just a Jeffy, I'm not sure when pulp will be available to everybody. Um, I am not sure what the dates are on that, but they will be. They've said that they will be releasing it to everyone, which is amazing. Yes, Mouse Mist. Yes, and I know you've got a large part to play in that of TCD, um, in terms of running on Scum VM, for instance, things like that, which I do appreciate. Yes, for sure, Jim plays games. Graphics can influence gameplay, like visual feedback. Um, I guess I've kind of always felt like, yeah, the graphics. I prefer graphics that are not actually super real ever. It's just too much visual information for me, and games usually move really quickly. So when I play or watch people play games that are super realistic, but they're bouncing around and jumping around so quickly, it's just too much for me. Really, I like having things a bit more simple. Oh, pulp later this year, Eating Wraith. Okay, let's move on to let's see if I have anything else to say about Chris. Um, his mission is to deliver single and multiplayer games to players around the world without ever having to worry about updates or install times. Games move from one device to another seamlessly, allowing players to access same game simultaneously from multiple devices. Game progress is saved automatically, runs on cloud, taking up no space on PC, tablet, smartphone, etc. So, very exciting stuff. Next, we have um, Consortium, which is. Hold on, I'm just going to take a quick look. Um, ooh, that's not what I wanted. Um, Consortium is who's doing it's Greg McMartin is doing Consortium as well as other things. So this was cool because he's doing these it's a murder mystery on a plane in the future. It's a great tagline. Um, this is it's one of a series of games. This is the first one. Greg McMartin, thank you, Neil. Thank you for the prompt. Um, Justin Paul series. You're super curious to hear more about the Playdate stuff. Oh no, yeah, I can go over that super quickly too. I know, just a Jeffy. I've been really bad about hiding my involvement with the Playdate. I could have been more careful, and I wasn't. Yeah, here it is on the top of the taskbar. Here you've got Playdate Pulp, which I can't show, but it is cool. Believe me, it's a really nice little app. Okay, yes, Greg McBarton, interdimensional game. So it's one of a series of games. I love the idea of a murder mystery on a plane because you think of a bottle episode or that traditional cozy mystery idea where everyone's in one place. For instance, the Crimson Diamond is all in a lodge. It doesn't get more closed in than a plane, which I think is a great setting, in fact. And hold on, it actually reminds me of I've got this book called Murder on the Midnight Plane. It's an Usborne Solve It Yourself. And I love this series of books. And it's actually a really influential series of books for me because it tells like a story and a mystery. And you have to read it and look at the pictures and then solve what's going on. So this Murder on a Midnight Plane, as soon as I saw that Greg was making a murder mystery on a plane, this is the first thing I thought of. Oh, Evil Tentacle, you had this one? I love this art. This artist, I think this is Graham Round. Yeah, Graham Round is my favorite illustrator for these. He did the Idol one, the Curse of the Idol something, and then Escape from Blood Castle. He also did. I love Graham Round's art. He was my favorite. Yes, it's a modern update of Murder of the. I should have figured that, Neil. Modern update of Murder on the Orient Express. Yes, of course, of course. Okay, I'm gonna go back to show and tell mode, and then just go over the rest of this. So yes, this is Greg's, and yeah, it's super intriguing. Cast of over 20 people, a lifelike conversation system with over 4,000 lines of fully voiced dialogue. It looks fantastic, really amazing. This is super impressive. So that's Greg's project, and Greg and Chris are fellow Canadians. They're from Vancouver, so that's kind of nice. Then we have, have to. Yes, Craig Ritchie is next. Craig Ritchie on Broken Roads. Craig Ritchie is an Aussie, and this is a narrative-driven RPG, post-apocalyptic Australia, and also it looks gorgeous too. It looks kind of like Fallout but better. I'm thinking of Fallout 1, Fallout 2. And it has a moral compass morality system, which is these types of things when they talk about character development and choices influencing the game. He seems to be doing a really cool job with that. And you all work together at Cave Dog Entertainment. Chris, Greg, and you, Neil, worked at Cave Dog, which is amazing. I kind of when I went into the panel, I didn't know you guys knew each other so well, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is kind of great because it was so relaxed. Of course, I never know what to expect going into these things, but it was nice because the rapport was so friendly and the environment was so warm. So I was really grateful for that. Yes, so this is Broken Roads. This is Craig Ritchie's Drop Bear Bites is the company. So fantastic looking project. Next we have In Between Odd Gods, Gil McLean, also I think Australia, Melbourne, Australia, yeah. 90s style role-playing game. 90s style and also set in the 90s, which is a really cool setting that we don't often see very much. This is fantastic as well. Grungy low fantasy story set at the end of the 90s. Subculture class system on 90s archetypes, skateboarders, goths, ravers, jocks, nerds, etc. A musical genre alignment system. So it's another different alignment system for an RPG, which is always exciting. And yeah, it's also really a really interesting different thing. So, Craig is doing post-apocalyptic Australia and Gil is doing 90s. Yes, musical alignment system, Dr. Meekshu, I know. So that's super exciting too. So these are all really awesome. Obviously, labors of love, every one of them. And next is, hey Anna, good to see you. Yeah, Anna CGG, a great friend of mine, and runs the CGG, the Classic Gamers Guild podcast, with co-hosts Rick and Paul. Yes, Y2K is approaching. Will society survive? Is that what it says on this? Wouldn't it be amazing? Well, no, it wouldn't be amazing, but it would be interesting if all the worst, most ominous predictions about Y2K did come true, and maybe that's what this is about, how it's coming up. Next on the panel was Zalavir Nelson, and Zalavir is behind Strange Scaffold, and this is their most recent launch, An Airport for Aliens, currently run by dogs. It's an adventure game. It's an open world adventure game, comedy. It's really cute. It features stock photos of dogs, and it's 10% off right now for the Steam sale until July the 8th. Yes. And Zalavir, so I've worked with Zalavir on a few things. We're working on, so I'm just gonna go to Strange Scaffold's Steam page here. And so that's, and he also worked on Dread X Collection, which is also on sale, Cellular Harvest. We're working together on Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. And you know what, I'll play the trailer for that, because it is really exciting. It's set to launch this year, in fact. And this is the first project that Zalavir and I worked on together. And actually, we're working on, Justin, we're working on the Playdate game together, and I'll talk about that real briefly too. But first, yeah, I'll just pause the music here, and we'll run the trailer for Space Warlord. Yes. So that is Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. And yes, Lockdown Con, Neil, you'll see Zalvir on the narrative design panel for Comic Con at home. Nice. Yeah, Zalvir is an amazing game designer. He has released dozens of games and super creative original stuff. And I'm super happy that I got to work with him on this project. And another project we're working on that is at this moment redacted. We can't discuss it, but hopefully at some point this year we can announce that. And of course the Playdate thing, which we'll get into. But I did want to just go over Zalavir's thing. So this is Zalavir's Strange Scaffold company. A lot of the games are on sale right now. Zalavir also has a Patreon, and what's cool about the Patreon is some of his patrons. I'm not sure at what level that you need to be at, but at a certain level of Zalavir's Patreon, you can actually play builds of Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. So you have access to the beta, which is really cool. So, Grandislav, happy Crimson Tuesday! uh, Shout out Grandislav. Grandislav is another fellow adventure game designer. He uses a lot of the same tools I do. He uses Adobe Photoshop for the art, and Adventure Game Studio is the engine that we both use for building our games. And Grindislav is working on Rosewater. He most recently released Lamplight City and A Golden Wake before that. And I always like to say this, but Grindislav was one of my major inspirations to starting my game because he has released 8 Ben Jordan games for free, and I've watched Let's Plays and or played through them, and I thought, yeah, this is really cool, and he's doing this, and he's doing it all by himself. Maybe I could do something like that too, and so I'm always going to be grateful to Grindislav for that. It's true, Grindislav, you're amazing. Goemon Selma, good to see you. Fractal Mind Mike. Fractal Mind Mike is an amazing. Speaking of Australians, Fractal Mind Mike is an Aussie streamer who played the Crimson Diamond demo a few weeks back for his channel, and that was an amazing experience. He finished the entire demo from beginning to end. I don't think he needed any hints, so that was super impressive for like a first fresh look at the demo. So thank you, Fractal Mind Mike. He's got a great channel, plays a lot of amazing games, and I recommend it very much. That's that. And yes, so what else have we got? That should be, I think that's, oh yeah, so I was gonna, I guess because Justin was asking, we can talk about the Playdate a bit. Okay. I actually have a words. I have like, yeah, presentation. There is in fact, I wonder, did I disable the Playdate links? I did. Okay. Well, if you Google, okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So the Nightbot just put down. There is a Playdate update video that released a few weeks ago, and it announced a bunch of different games for the Playdate. They are doing a suite of 24 games for Season 1. When you buy the unit, which pre-orders open in July, you will get the games included will be 2 games a week for 12 weeks in Season 1. The game that Zalavir and I are working on, called Recommendation Dog, is not part of that first season. We're not sure when it's going to come out, but it's well in development. And I'm actually art director on the project, which is really cool. It was my first time being an art director. And Sweet Baby Incorporated, who is producing the game, have been super supportive and helping me learn that role. And part of what Sweet Baby does is they sort of connect new people to the industry to these kinds of projects, and get game credits, and hopefully move up in the industry as a result of that. So they were a perfect company to have my first art director gig with, and it's been superb. I have to say, it's been superb. And all I have here for this is, does this game use the crank? The game indeed uses the crank. Yes. This and so I mean I'm just these are just pictures from the Playdate website, which is easy enough for you to find. But yeah, they have this amazing dock, which is a Bluetooth speaker and a charger, and the thing on top is a pen. And here's what it's going to look like when you actually buy it. They have a ton of really amazing developers working on games for this. So this game that you see, this actually not this one, but you'll see because there's a few screen caps of the games you get for that first season. They'll have a cover for pre-order as well, and this looks like a role-playing game, which I can't wait to see. But yeah, it's just amazing because here's the first season of games, and all manner of things. Casual birder, a golf game. The game in the middle, the top middle, is made by the designer of Katamari Damacy, which is amazing. They have a game, Bennett Foddy, bottom left. Bennett Foddy is making a game called Zipper, and Lucas Pope is developing a game for it as well. And here's the little title card for Recommendation Dog, which is this is a piece of art that I did for it, and it's kind of fun because even though it is like monochrome black and white, the screen on the Playdate is 400 by 240, which is really not that far off from 320 by 200. And it is so visually appealing. It is super cute, and actually, I do have it with me right here. And yeah, the crank is it does not charge the unit. I know that's the first thing everyone asks, but it's a great little game controller, and it's really fun to see how people work with it. The battery, so this is it's not backlit. The battery on standby lasts 14 days, and but I don't know how many hours it is for playtime, but 14 days standby, so it's really super long lived, super efficient screen. And what else can I say about it? I think it's got 4 gigabytes of memory, some other stuff. But yeah, it's made by Panic, and Panic has a reputation for amazing hardware. Greenerslav is a little sad that the crank doesn't make a clicky noise. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's super smooth though. It's super smooth. Here, I'm putting it right up to the mic. You got nothing. But hold on. I'm not gonna show you anything because I don't want to. There it is. There's the title screen. My title screen on a play date. It's kind of a rush to see that. Oh. Okay. So that's a play date thing. And yeah, that was it was super cool to be able to do that with them. Ongoing, of course. Okay. And so what did I is that it for I think that was it for talking about Lockdown Con. Oh no, actually one more thing about Lockdown Con. Super quick. And here, of course, this is Neil with Dan, of course, and Tony Manfredonia. This was from the composers panel, and I sat and watched that as well, and it was amazing. It was really good. They all kind of have a bit of a music background of producing music for games, and they got really into it with technical stuff. So anyone who comes to Dan's streams and loves to get into the little nitty gritty details, I recommend watching that stream as well. That video. Yeah, Blow Holtzen. I it's great because I wanted one. Like, as soon as I saw what it was, the Playdate, I wanted one too, and now I have one. I plan on ordering the dock. I plan on ordering the cover, all that stuff. Yes, Neil, I had a great time. I thank you. I can't thank you enough for organizing that event and for inviting me to be on that. Super fun. It was a pleasure to meet you too, and it's a pleasure to meet someone who has so much industry experience because I'm just getting my feet wet right now, and it's been exciting so far. Let's see what else have we. Oh yeah. So we're gonna move into. I should show the game trailer for the Crimson Diamond. I'm gonna do that now. After that, we're gonna do some pixel art, and I'm gonna talk about the opacity hotkeys in Photoshop. We'll talk about that. And then after that, for break, I will do a presentation on this necklace that I made and the stones that are in this necklace. Okay. First thing, yes. Okay, so that's right. Yeah, I'm going to show the gameplay trailer for the Crimson Diamond, and it's a text parser mystery adventure game that kind of looks and feels and sounds like the old stuff from my childhood, late 80s, early 90s, but hopefully a little bit easier to play. We like to say, Dan and I, we wanted to play like you remember these games playing, not necessarily how they actually did. But I'm hoping that even people who are not familiar with this type of game will enjoy it. Will find that there's something in there for them. And showing it at events, I feel like that's the case. So I've got my fingers crossed and hope that it's got appeal beyond nostalgia. But yeah, let's see. Yes, thank you for keeping game devs busy on the weekend, Neil, so that we all stay out of trouble. Yeah. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna play the trailer now, and yeah, you can just. Oh yeah, and another thing I wanted to mention. So for people who've never played a text parser mystery adventure game before of this style, there is a tutorial room that's built into the game that is in the demo right now. If you download the demo, which is chapter one of the game, you will be walked through step by step some of the most basic text parser commands, how to interact with the game, how to talk to people, ask people about things, and that is a way to sort of familiarize people who've never played one before, and hopefully to ease that transition. Because I think the text parser is kind of magical and delightful, and I want people to get to play with that and see what that's like. But, okay, here comes the trailer.
Crimson, Ontario was once a prosperous, lively mining town. But that was a long time ago. Now it's quiet, nearly deserted, and some folks aim to keep it that way. Nancy Maple is an aspiring mineralogist assigned to follow the trail of a dazzling diamond. An intriguing cast of characters has converged under one roof, each meaning to get their own way. Or else. Will Nancy untangle the mysteries and machinations before it's too late? Will the sleepy town of Crimson shine once more? Find out in The Crimson Diamond, an upcoming adventure game by Julia Minamata. The Crimson Diamond demo is available on Steam and itch.io for Windows PC and Mac OS.
Thank you. Yes, I was just saying that um, the demo that you can get on Steam and on itch.io, they it's only restricted to the inside of the lodge, so you don't actually get to explore outside like the demo has. You do, but I promise, in chapter 2, 3, 4, you get to experience all that. So, and day and night as well. There's a day and night cycle in the game, and you'll be able to see what that's like as well. And that was a fun challenge to do in EGA, and a fun challenge just for color palette. Sorry, mime Julia. I'm back though, right? I'm hoping. Okay, that's that. Oh yeah. So speaking of getting to work, okay, yeah, King Quest 4 has. So hopefully, you guys will let me know when I'm back. Okay, fine. Okay, good. Yeah, King's Quest 4 is that day-night cycle, and I loved that part of King's Quest 4. I'd have to say probably King's Quest 4 is my favorite King's Quest because it is an EGA game, it's a text parser game, and it has a day-night cycle. Oh. Of course, Colonel's Bequest is going to be my sentimental favorite. And yes, so I mentioned last time I was using Adobe Creative Cloud for an art stream. actually, why don't we go there and then we can demonstrate. I can demonstrate this. Okay. I noticed that if you look up at the toolbar, the opacity here, when you press the number keys, the opacity changes according to whatever number key you've pressed. And I felt I didn't like this because it's easy to press these by accident, and you don't even have to have that tool selected, I don't think. Oh no, you do. You do. Yeah, so you have the tool selected, but you press this key by accident, and all of a sudden you're working at less than 100% opacity. And because I'm working with a very limited palette, I'm only interested in those colors at 100% opacity. Grindislav, do you know about this? And so I was asking chat, is there any way to stop this from happening? Where is that in the shortcut menus? Because, I do know that there are keyboard shortcuts you can edit. There's any number of them in here. And I was looking through. Oh, okay. Let's all go to Adobe to get our EGA. Let's all go to Adobe to. We need 10-bit color to get the 8-bit look. Yeah, exactly. Evil Tentacle. 1 pixel is 90% opacity. The game is not EGA now. Exactly. Okay. So yes, there is this extensive menu of keyboard shortcuts you can edit in Photoshop. So while I was on stream, I was trying to figure out how to not make this opacity thing change, right? You can see this is changing as I press these buttons. Because I find this highly undesirable. And people in chat who know a heck of a lot more about Photoshop than I do, they couldn't figure it out. They were looking online and said, well, people are saying that you can't fix this or change this. Well, at least you can't in the program. There are other programs you can use in concert with Photoshop, so you can disable the numerical keys or some others, or remap things. But I wanted a definitive answer, and there's a viewer that sometimes comes to stream that actually works for Adobe, and said, if you have any questions about Photoshop or Adobe, let me know. After the stream, I did message him. I did message him, and I asked him, is there any way to change the bindings of these numerical keys so they're not hotkeys for the opacity setting? And he asked Adobe engineers, and they said no. So definitively, in Photoshop Creative Cloud, and probably Photoshop CS2, I don't know, you cannot change this hotkey. It's not going to be in the hotkeys menu like I was looking at here, in the keyboard shortcuts. This thing, it's not in here. You can't do it. Yes, exactly, Ballholtz. So, Factomite, can Photoshop not work in a 17 color palette, 16 plus transparent? You can work in indexed color, and maybe you can do this better in Creative Cloud. When I was working in indexed color, yeah, it has to be flattened, and I like my layers, and that's kind of why I use RGB when I'm working, and then Adventure Game Studio is supposed to force it to EGA color only. But yeah, so yes, confirmed. There's nothing that can be done about this opacity thing. Just don't press that, and keep an eye on that opacity drop down menu in case you accidentally press something and you're at 80% instead of 100. Yeah, I don't know, Fractal Mind Mike. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to do indexed with layers. I don't know. It just doesn't want to. Oh, Grindislav, thanks for dropping by. What are you reading for book club? And check out Grindislav on Wild West Wednesdays. He does developer streams as well, does art and animation. And I guess I'm going to shout him out one more time. And I do want to know what he's reading. Grindislav. Grindislav. And definitely check out his dev streams. His game Rosewater is well into production. I feel like he's gonna lap me with it, in that he would have started Rosewater after the Crimson Diamond, and he's gonna get it finished before. Kindred by Octavia Butler. Cool. Enjoy. Thanks for dropping by. A Fractal Mind Mike, Grindislav streams on Wednesday afternoons. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna actually get started on some work stuff. It's only been 47 minutes. I would say we'll work until maybe 9:30 or so, and then I will do a little presentation about the stones that are in the necklace that I made, because it's an interesting one that people don't really know much about, and I think it's worth knowing about. Grindasav says, don't be so sure about the lap thing, about him starting Rosewater first and ending it first. Yeah, Deluxe Tux, yeah, there's a solution that, by using third-party software to rebind the keys. Yeah, and yeah, there's absolutely no way that using third-party software in conjunction with Adobe software would do anything remotely challenging or compromise anything, or, you know, go wrong at all. Yeah, Fractal Mind Mike, it's tough to coordinate with Aussie time. I know, because when you were streaming the Crimson Diamond, you had to stay up late and I had to get up early. But I did appreciate, that we kind of met each other in the middle there. Oh yeah, and I guess I pressed something that actually changed the layer opacity. Nice. So we're working on this still. I think we're making good progress. And what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to break up these spaces in these trees the way I did on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side, you can see some of the water behind there, and I think I need some of that on the left-hand side as well. Oh, you've got the emoji. Awesome, Fractal Mind Mike. Yeah. Like I said, any streamers... Ooh, hold on, I have to just check that. The notification. Manafe, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, any streamers who want to stream the Crimson Diamond, I will make every effort to be there if I can, including waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning to come see it. It's always a good time. So if you want to stream it, message me, let me know, and yeah, I will make every effort. Yes, eating with you're right. You're right. You are very right. Anything before noon is early for me, and I'm gonna be okay with that. I'm just gonna let myself be okay with that. Am I what? Oh, see, I'm at 80% opacity. No. It's kind of okay, like I said, because when I import everything into Adventure Game Studio has a palette that I created, and so it's supposed to force the colors to the proper color if they're close enough. So it's not too much of a concern if that happens, but of course I don't want that to happen. Yes, I know. Waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning. I know. I'm so spoiled. Oh, interesting. The Deluxe Tux Theropod streams at 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. Australian time. Yeah, it's tough to find a good time for streaming, depending, on where your people are. It's challenging. Theropods is another game that is using Adventure Game Studio for development. I don't know why this happened. Yeah, I think I don't even really know how Dan and I picked Tuesdays at 8 p.m. It's I guess think it just worked for us. So yeah. Speaking of Dan, next week will be a music stream, and Dan will be composing something for the Crimson Diamond, and I have to figure out what that will be. Dan composed this amazing pursuit piece last stream, and the pursuit piece is for later on in the game, and he's well and truly composing parts for the game that don't exist yet. Wow, Deluxe Tux, you overslept to 6:20 a.m. twice in a row this week. Oh, thanks, Manifei. I'm glad you like this piece so far. Oh, Mouse Miss, good idea. Maybe we can just review all the music, and then I can ask Dan to send me more music, because most of the stuff that he's done, he still has to polish up, and balance it and stuff, or whatever he has to do with it before he can send it to me. And so I would actually really like, to have more music put in the game. Although I will kind of say that the more music is in the game, the bigger each backup file is going to be. So maybe I don't want more music right now, because it's just going to multiply how my storage needs. Because Dan's music takes up way more space than the actual game does. But yeah, I mean, maybe we can just do a quick rundown of everything that's there, and I need to have kept better notes about what Dan was doing and where it's supposed to go, because sometimes I forget, which isn't good. And we will eventually need to do a sound effects stream. I know one of the questions Neil had for the composers was if they're doing sound design as well for the projects, and Dan is actually doing the sound design for the Crimson Diamond, using the sound effects available on the Roland MT32. And he has to set things up a little bit differently when he does that, so it's a bit of a challenge. Oh, it's a Maple Leaf Forever. Oh, Goemon-sama, I wonder if it will affect how you create a scene with the music completed first. Definitely. There actually has been an example of that already. Because there was some debrief music that Dan composed for me a while back now. And I kind of wasn't sure how I wanted what the scene to be, where it would be set, and what it would really be like. And after Dan completed the piece at the end of stream, I knew what I wanted it to look like, and I knew where I wanted it to be. So yes, he already has very much influenced at least one part of the game by developing the music first. And it's kind of been a mix. Most of the stuff early on, I could actually send him like animated GIFs of what he was composing for. But because he has surpassed me in developing music for the game, now it becomes more and more vague. Yes, yeah, sound effects for sure, Mouse Miss. Yes, exactly, Deluxe Tux. Yeah, exactly. That's the one I meant. The debrief music. Fractal Mind, Mike, you like that going with the full MT32 experience, and yeah, because what you guys were saying about releasing the MIDI soundtrack, that's totally a possibility. Is having probably in the collector's edition or whatever, the deluxe edition, we can have that available to people. Yeah, Cosmic Void 3. The man has a lot of the palette in him as it is. He is missing the greens, but yeah, you're right. He has almost all the colors. Oh, nice, Deluxe Tux. You planted a maple tree. And it's doing well. Justin, thanks for stopping by. Have a great night. Good luck with your. Is it announced yet? You're working on that Turtles game, right? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. It looks awesome. And good luck, good luck, good luck. And of course, Panzer Paladin is amazing too. Oh, Fractal Mind Mike, your MT32 has arrived. Yes, Justin, you're working on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It does look really amazing. Congratulations on that. That's super exciting. Oh. Have a good night. Oh, Fractal Mind Mike, you should do an MP32 stream. Good night. And wow, Panzer Paladin is almost a year old. That's amazing. I still remember playing it at PAX East. It was good to meet you. Alright, see, that's kind of working. Although, ugh, the fill. Alouette. Gentil Alouette. So let's break up, the trees on the other side as well. Just to Jeffy, I did not go to PAX East as an exhibitor. I was there, I was on a panel, an adventure game panel. And Francisco was on the panel, Dave was on the panel, Dave Gilbert from Why Jedi Games. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Brain, help. Help, brain. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna check really quickly who is on it. It's bad that I don't remember. Okay, give me a second. I'm actually gonna close a bunch of these tabs too that I have open. I should know this, but it was a year ago. That's not even that long ago. That's embarrassing. This is where, yeah, I'm gonna look at my own YouTube channel. Okay. Yeah, so it was me, Dave Gilbert, Francisco, and Katie Hallerhan Rahal from Phoenix Online Studios. Yes. Okay, there were four of us. Right. Okay. Oh, nice. Fractal Mind Mike, you've got a camera pointed at the screen so people can appreciate the graphs and blinking lights. I think Dan would want another camera. Well, he's got like the keyboard cam, and his face, and it would be great to have one that could be on the MP32 or something. Oh, nice, Dr. Mikachu. No, don't apologize for having to disappear. What are you making for dinner? See the opacity. You know what? I know what's happening. Yeah, it's because my keyboard shortcut to switch scenes includes a number key, and that's what's changing the opacity. It's such a drag. Bon Meebles, nice. Awesome, Dr. Mikachu. Slash Studio, good to see you. Welcome back. Yeah, we're working on this again. Again. But in a little bit, I'd say maybe in about half an hour, about 9:30, I'm gonna do another little rock talk about an awesome, beautiful green gemstone, well, semi-precious gemstone that I think deserves more attention than it gets. And I say this all the time, but it's one of my favorites. They're all my favorites. Cosmic 43, how's the game release going? And Slat Studio is another game developer as well, who also loves the EGA color palettes, which is nice. There are dozens of us. Yeah, so right now, Deluxe Tux, I am just making it so these trees have, you can see through them a little bit to the background. And I'm just going to be working on the right hand side here, maybe adding a few more of these coniferous trees. And after that, I'm going to maybe add a little bit more texture to the ground, some detail there, and we'll see what happens. Eventually I will be animating this. There'll probably be about 3 frames of animation or something, but we're not anywhere near that part yet. But what will make this really feel lived in, and I don't want to say real because there's only so real things can get at this the resolution and with these colors, but it's just little bits here and there where it doesn't look just like a expansive dark blue. We're gonna weather it up a little bit, make it more natural looking. But right now we're just gonna work on this little bit here. Oh, nice. Adventure Gamers Review Cosmo 43. Sweet. Good luck. Oh, for sure. I wouldn't expect that you'd agree with everything that the reviewers would say. And I did buy it, and I still haven't played it. I'm so sorry. And there's a Steam sale right now on, and I want to buy more games to not play. So, if you want to, Cosmic43, if you want to drop the link down, please do. Because I think I've mentioned that I really like your color palette. It uses a lot of colors that I never use, so I admire that. I don't know, I can't use purple. Something about purple I can't do. In fact, one of my last freelance illustrations that I made, I used purple because I told myself I never use purple, I have to use purple. And I did, but it didn't feel natural to me. It's weird. Blue and purple are hard? Is that why you picked them? Yes, Cressup is a reviewer at adventuregamers.com. Yeah, I met Cressup at Adventure X in London in 2019. She was super cool. And unfortunately, they canceled Adventure X for this year, but I'm hoping, maybe next year, because I do want to go again, even, and especially maybe if I'm not showing at it, because then I can just go to all the panels and just really just relax and everything, and see London again, because London is an amazing city, and also maybe get to see some smaller towns and things like that. Because it was my first time going to London, and the first time you go to London, you have to do all the first time London things, which is the big art galleries, the big museums, which are amazing. It's where I discovered labradorite. This pair of labradorite and red agate earrings that I bought there, that I sometimes wear on stream. And I think during Dan's composer panel, was it Edenwaith that were you asking, or was it Mousimus who was asking what Nancy Maple's favorite mineral would be? And I think we decided it would be labradorite, because labradorite was first discovered in Labrador, Canada, and I've always kind of loved it anyway, so we'll go with that. Canonically, Labradorite is Nancy's favorite. It could have been Howlite because Howlite was also discovered by a Canadian, by this guy whose name was Howl, whatever his name was, something Howe, and so he was named Howlite after him. And it was actually Howlite was discovered in 1868, which would be, you know, of course Nancy would know about that story. Oh, Cosmo43 says blue purple are hard because they reach their top saturation quicker than other colors, so they're hard to make fit. Interesting. Okay, eating with it was you. Yeah, it was either you or Mouse because I saw you guys both in that chat for Dan's. Yes, Henry Howe discovered Howlite. And I'd like to say yes. We'll say that Labradorite is Nancy's favorite mineral. And we are still using the FalcoSoft MIDI player that was recommended in chat a little while back, and it has been excellent because like I said, I did find the shuffle button on it, and for some reason Winamp the volume would not stay consistently the same level for whatever reason. So FalcoSoft has been really great. Oh yeah, and I do think Black Holton that Labradorite does look cooler than Howlite. Howlite is good because it dyes really well, and you can dye it all kinds of different colors and everything. But of course, Labradorite has so-called labradorescence, which is what they call that beautiful iridescent effect that it has. So yes, Nancy Maple's favorite is Labradorite, and my favorite changes all the time. Because I'm going to be talking about a mineral today, and yeah, it's going to be one of my favorites, I think, for a number of reasons that we'll get into soon. Well, in 21 minutes we'll get into. Oh, Cosmic Void wants to know regarding all the blue bits and clusters in the pine trees. Any tips how you go about making them without them looking noisy? Because they look very non-noisy, which is great. Oh, interesting. I guess what I'm trying to do with them. Oh, what I'm trying to do with them is I am trying to slightly obey lighting. So the upper parts, when I do this blue on top, I'm trying to make the upper part where the moon would be shining the lighter color, and then the black being the lower color. So in a way, it kind of gives it a bit of a structure. So it's not a random black and white pattern. It's me being aware that if I'm looking at this area here, I'm going to just try to touch the areas that I think the light would actually be on. And if you do that to enough of these areas, it gives that illusion. It gives that illusion of light happening, and that helps I think the eye and the brain to not see it as noise. So yeah, if I'm gonna just do that little part here as a demonstration. And thank you for saying that they look non-noisy. That's a thing also with any low res pixel artwork. It's really a danger for that to happen, especially with when you're working with so few pixels. As an example. Oh, thanks, Japno. You say it's a nice combo of dark blue and black, optically close in terms of value. Yeah, that's another thing. which can help when this is a trick I learned in art school when I was working on stuff to get things to have enough contrast or less contrast. What you can do is you can desaturate it and see if it still holds up. And I would do this with my artwork all the time. If we go up here, go to image, adjust, mode, oh, what is it, grayscale. Yeah. So what we can see here is after it's been grayscalified, we can see the values of what's going on. And so we want the coniferous trees to be in the background. So being aware of the brightness and darkness as you set things next to each other, it can also help things look less noisy too. And the focus of this is the middle part with the firelight and the light being cast on the old man's face and the fish. And I guess we can see when you desaturate that it's kind of still holding up that way. It's actually more of a danger, I think, when you have like a way larger color palette, to be aware that you're not making things muddy when you want things to be clear. But of course, if you want beautiful, subtle effects, then you're going to want to be aware that that's what you're doing. And I have a great dinner. Salsa chicken. Sounds amazing. Enjoy, enjoy. Yeah, so that's something, this is a good trick. Another good trick, of course, for composition is to flip the piece and then see what you think about it that way. And I can already see when I've flipped it, what I want is I want something on this right hand corner here to balance off what's happening on the left. That's another really good trick to use to see what you need to do to make it feel even, or whatever you want to feel. Oh, I'm glad you guys like this. Is actually the first time I've desaturated this, so I'm glad you feel that way. But yeah, I mean, with the EGA color palette, it can be difficult to make things muddy because what you're given is just really bright. But yeah, some colors are closer together than others. But yeah, I kind of wanted to add something like a branch here that is not the same angle as that one. So it's not going to create a parallel set of shapes running you off the screen. But I do want something there. Yeah, there's more to doing art than being good at replicating what is in front of you, or drawing things technically well. This also has a lot to do with composition, but where those elements are related to each other, and what you're trying to accomplish with the composition. And I actually think that I'm better at composing something than actual drawing. And of course, something else to be discussed is color. People say color is subjective, but I don't know. I have kind of arguments about that. But yeah, use of color and how and where you use it and the combinations and everything, that's another aspect of it. Japnel once is saying, I'm noticing your light circle around the fire. I love the shadow of the logs. Do you ever consider using dithering patterns for longer gradients? I'm doing some CGA stuff and keep thinking I should be doing more dithered colors. Oh, for sure, Japno, I'm going to be using some. I'm going to be doing some dithering, and actually, I've got I had some beginnings of some dithering passes here, and there's definitely going to be like shadow for the trees and everything. What I do is I do the dithering passes last. I want the color and the composition and the drawing to hold up as much as possible without the dithering, and then I use the dithering to kind of enhance what's already there. Oh, thanks, guys. I'm glad you like the light circle is extremely sloppy right now, but yeah, some things that I like doing with that is yeah how it's lit. It creates the illusion of grass because what we have here these with these things you can almost feel like the grass is standing up from the surface, and then on the other side we're kind of flipping that around. See, this is just really sloppy right now, but the light would be cast on the fronts of those pieces of grass, and that's what we can kind of do with that. But yeah, it is still really sloppy over here. Yeah, these are parts we have not really refined yet. But yeah, it's a fun little trick to create a dimension very quickly and easily. CGA, by the way, CGA, Japno, I love CGA so much. Um, I think 16 colors would be my limit in terms of what I'd like to do. Like the playdate is black and white, which I love working in. I love it so much. Um, and actually, yeah, in terms of Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, these are some of the portraits I did for that. And I love working just with the one color because the challenge I was mentioning, we were mentioning before about creating stuff but not making it look noisy. It has to hold together. And when you're working at such a low resolution and then you're using one color, you have to be so careful about everything holding together and looking like something. And these are not anywhere near as the size they would be in Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. In the trailer, you can actually see they're actually going to be maybe this big. And that's another thing you have to think about when working at whatever resolution you're working at, or choosing a resolution, is what size it's actually going to be on the screen. Because these at a certain point of size, they will break up. You know, they become less and less resolved as objects. But I know that it's not going to really ever be shown this large. But in fact, it's a little cool to see it start to abstract out at certain scales. But I knew that these would be pretty small, you know, and as they get smaller, it almost like you can see them better because of the way the dithering works. Captain Blood, I don't know that one, just a Jeffy. But CGA, what's great about CGA is, especially magenta, cyan, white, and black, is how unnatural every single one of those colors is. Except for white. Cyan and magenta are just, it's great. It's great. It doesn't look like anything. Even with it is just black and white. The plated is only black and white. There's no grayscale. So it's not like Game Boy where you can kind of get tone, gray green tone. It's just black and white, which is a limitation that I'm really super fond of. More limitation, the better for me. I'm one of those people, when I go to a restaurant, I actually like a restaurant that has 5 things in their menu. Or even better, you can get the chef's choice, the omakase. Just I'll eat whatever, just you decide, type of thing. 91,000 is CGA, but 16 colors. Yeah, Cosmic 4-3. Yeah, the thing is I also like to think, and I think I read this in maybe an Anthony Bourdain book, is yeah, with the restaurants that have 50 different things on it, you're not getting the freshest, most amazing quality things. You want to go to a place that has like 5 things on the menu, or maybe 2 things on the menu, because that stuff will be fresh, and that's what they're kind of their livelihood is making the best of whatever that happens to be, and it's not just a matter of everything. Yes, Japno, when you say when you work in EGA, you always feel you're somehow reaching back into your childhood and living there for a while. That's why I do this. That's why I'm working in EGA, and it's so comforting to just be at my little screen here, and have YouTube playing in the background, and just playing with the palette. It's excellent. And when I show the Crimson Diamond at events and I see people's faces light up when they see it, that's also really special too, because I know they feel the same way. Jim Matt, welcome back. He wanted to see a Crimson Diamond food menu of all the food mentioned in the game. So far, I think the dinner in the demo, there is some kind of meat and potatoes and salad with some kind of tomato-based sauce, and I actually looked up menus of that period to find what they would be serving, because I love looking at old recipe books and things like that from that time. And there would be Jordan almonds, of course. And as for the rest, there's other food items that happen later on in the game, but I can't share those. But it would be really fun to do a Crimson Diamond cookbook. Terry Pratchett did a Discworld cookbook that I love. I don't think I've made any of the recipes, but I just love it as world building. Yeah, Jaffno, you were doing some simple work, and you were looking when you look. Don't say that you're not really good. I'm sure it looks fantastic. When you look back at it, it felt surreal because you felt somehow created an old memory in the present. Yeah, I feel like that all the time when I'm working on this stuff. Um, yeah, it's really cool to have that feeling. I totally get where you're coming from with it, because that's how I feel when I work on this. And working on in Adventure Game Studio as well, just building it and just doing the animations, every aspect of it, when I have it come to life, is super neat to me. It still is. Yes. I love a diner deluxe tux. You like Greasy Spoon diners maintain their phone book menu so people can order 8 different types of spaghetti at 3 a.m. Yeah, diners are the ones I'll give a pass to, because yeah, it's just they have every type of, you can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at any time at a diner. Oh yes, hot toddy is in the demo as well, and there's whiskey. And we do, just as Jeffrey, we do end up talking about food every Tuesday. We do, because that's, I don't know, I'm interested in food. I don't know why. When Dan plays gigs and stuff, that's all I ask him, and I think I've said that. Say, Dan, what kind of food did they have at this event that you're playing? Was it any good? Did they give you some? Did you have to pay for it? What did the musicians get to eat? I don't know. I don't know why. Yes, humans like food. That's why. That's something we can all agree on. Food is good. It'd be cool to see a time lapse fractal mind, Mike. Actually, it's interesting because there is a bit of a time lapse, because every time I do a stream with it, I start a new layer. So there kind of is a time lapse as we go here. And what I've done with that before is I've made animated GIFs of it. So it's definitely something we can look into. And I have done animated GIFs of some of the other rooms. Yes, Uber Eats, just a Jeffy, I agree. Uber Eats is, they've made it too easy to get any kind of food you would ever want. Japnil, thank you for coming by. It's good to see you. I'm not sure, I don't recognize your username, so welcome to stream if it's your first time coming around or chatting. Have a great day. Oh, Fractal Mind Mike, it's lunchtime? If you do come back, let us know what you had for lunch. Oh man, Japnil, thanks for the subscription. Thank you, thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, have a great one. Have a really good one. I do feel like the bottom of these trees are getting a little bit noisy. Because, yeah, the light's not going to hit the bottoms as much as the tops. Holy cow! Japnil, thank you! Oh my gosh, 5 tier 1 subscriptions. Thank you, that's amazing. That's amazing, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's nice to know that people enjoy coming here week to week. Because I enjoy being here week to week. Yeah, I forget that there will be less light at the bottom of these trees, so we kind of have to take that into account to minimize that noise feeling too. And the further ones will have smaller shapes in them. That's another thing to create depth. These ones that are closer on the left are going to have bigger shapes in them. And then the ones further are going to have just a little... It's going to start to break up a little bit, and it's meant to break up a little bit. And actually, the illusion of depth is something else that is in the necklace that I'm wearing that we're going to talk about in a minute. We're going to get to that. But yeah, so these closer trees, you can see the foliage has bigger shapes in them. Oh, you're going to stick around, Fractal Mind Mike? I need to know what everyone is eating. Okay. But then what happens at the bottom of the trees, which I've been doing on that side, is that the grass comes up against the bottom of the tree, so we get these kind of vertical shapes at the bottom, like so. Okay, 9:30, great. Wow, that time went by pretty quick. Okay, we're gonna talk about the necklace. Ooh, Bao. Bao, are you the little open-faced dumplings? Is that what Bao is again? Hmm. Okay, we're gonna talk about the necklace. I made this necklace. I finished it up last night. I just connected all the stations together. And let me get to that. Here, show and tell. Okay, great. The this stone here that I've got on is this green stone that is not very well known. It's called chrome diopside, and this is a diagram that shows how it occurs. And actually, what happens is I've got notes. There are these kimberlite pipes that erupt through the Earth's mantle. So this down here at the bottom is about 100 to 300 kilometers down, and which is 62 to 186 miles down for those people on the imperial system. And what happens is through extreme high pressure, these eruptions happen. This is a kimberlite pipe, and chrome diopside is one of the minerals that occurs this way. And the more famous mineral, if people know what kimberlite pipes are known for, happens to be diamonds. And so chrome diopside, the stone I'm wearing right now, is considered an indicator mineral for the presence of diamonds because they both come out of these kimberlite pipes. And this is a great example because what it shows here is that, yeah, this was an ancient kimberlite volcano. And then what happens, erosion happens, wears this all down, and then we have these bits here of these minerals. And if you were to find, even peridot is another indicator mineral, olivine, and chrome diopside. And if you find those, you might find diamonds in that same vicinity. Yes, pork belly on folded steamed buns. Exactly, Bao. They're so good. Let's see. And here is an example of what the mineral looks like, chrome diopside. The presence of chromium is what causes a lot of green gems to be green. And actually, weirdly, the presence of chromium causes rubies to be red too, which I don't understand. But anyway, this is what it can look like. And here's a much greener example of chrome diopside. It occurs in Canada, South Africa, and Russia and Brazil, but Russia is really known for exporting it. And here is one where when it gets really dark, it can look black. And so this is called black star diopside. And what it is, it's exhibiting that star shape that it's called asterism, where you've got these bands on the inside of it that are refracting light in such a way that they create these beautiful star patterns. And this is what happens when you polish certain types of diopside into cabochons, which is this dome shape. Here's more of it. It's really stunning as an effect. And in 1988, I think, is when Russia started to mine and export chrome diopside. And now it's really big in their mineral market as a bright green, usually bright green gem that is a lot more affordable than something like emeralds or other green gems that are on the market that are also quite rare. Yes, Japnos gifted 5 gift subs, which is amazing. It's wonderfully generous. Here are more examples again of those black star diopsides. And here's an example of a gem quality diopside, which is absolutely stunning. The only problem with chrome diopside is it's a bit brittle. It's got a Mohs hardness of about 5.5 to 6.5. And emerald, of course, has a hardness of 9. 9? No, wait. Sapphire and ruby has a hardness of 9. Give me a second. Emerald, Mohs, hardness. Emerald 7.5 to 8. HC Willard, ahoy! Welcome back. Good to see you. Yeah, we're just talking about another favorite gemstone of mine, which is chrome diopside. And you can see what a kind of a glorious, vivid color it can be. Although, because it's not particularly hard compared to something like emerald, it's recommended again for low-wearing jewelry like earrings or necklaces. And that's why I'm wearing it as a necklace. Here's some beads of it. It's a beautiful green color. And that's the reason I love it. It's a beautiful green translucent color to transparent color that is economical. And I don't know why it's not more popular, really. Here it is as a crystal. Here are beads. Yeah, it can have a lot of inclusions, I guess, but there are different grades as with anything else. But I think this color green is fantastic. It's called chrome diopside. Diopside. Chrome. Here's some more, kind of natural, pretty. Yeah, they're gorgeous. The green, I'm telling you. I think they're stunning. And yeah, it's just the minerals of it. In jewelry, fantastic color green. I even love those inclusions, like the white imperfections that are inside of them. It just looks really natural and gives a lot of color variation. Of course, there's more gem quality. This is not a very good picture. and more. You know, it comes in the droplets are a lot like the ones I have actually. I love it. So I'm gonna show. Actually, I can do that now. Um, let's see. Where do I have it? Web. Let's go to web again. So this is the site that I actually order a lot of my jewelry supplies from, Fire Mountain Gems, since 1973. And here's their selection of chrome diopside right now. And you can see we've got something here. You know, these 5 to 6 millimeter rounds, not that cheap, but these pendants are not that bad. You know, $30. Sterling silver. And it really is a very, very pretty green. You know, compared to something like emeralds, for instance, you're not going to find emeralds at this price, but the color is quite nice. How toxic is the byproduct of shaping them? Good question. So Fractal Mind Mike, I guess you were here when I was talking about malachite, and how because malachite is copper based, you really don't want to be anywhere near. Oh, it's farewell to Nova Scotia. This is one of my favorite songs in this entire MIDI playlist. Yes, so malachite is the copper powder produced by polishing malachite is extremely toxic. And I probably would not recommend inhaling chromium either. In fact, don't inhale any type of rock dust, to be fair. But malachite is particularly a problem. I'm not sure if chromium is. But this is where I ordered my chrome diopside. HC, well, then I'll be pretty on the inside. Yeah, it's you know, with any type of stone or crafting or anything, definitely got to be very careful. Anyway, this is where I ordered my stuff from. And here is this is when I ordered my chrome diopside, this is how it came. Just as a sort of strung together like this. You can see the size is graduated from small to large to small again, and that's how I set them on the chain, which kind of gives this illusion of the larger ones. As it goes back to the back, it gets smaller, so it gives this illusion of depth as it goes along. And in the middle, of course, we have a malachite cabochon, one of the ones I ordered. And the other pendant here is actually Composite Emerald that I ordered. This is not from a jewelry supply company. I ordered this as a piece of jewelry. Composite Emerald being emerald shavings that they then compress together. And that's quite a nice green as well. And here are the materials I used to make the necklace. I used this really fine 28 gauge wire because the holes that are punched into these are actually really small. These are gold seed beads, the gold glass seed beads, but I eventually replaced them with actual gold plated seed beads or small beads. And then I set them on a chain with really 3mm jump rings. And this is a very blurry photo meant to illustrate the difference between, on the right, these are gold glass seed beads, and then on the left, these are actually metal seed beads. So I redid every one of these stations with metal with the metal beads, because I just like the way it looks more. It looks, well, it's metal. It's going to look more metal than something that isn't. Yeah, do not eat rocks or minerals. Well, you can eat like salt, but you know, not as much as you know, in moderation. Salt. And don't eat laundry detergent. Also a good idea. Here is the finished necklace. Unless you're in Space Quest 4. And here's a close-up. So I actually have a loop. And so so what I did to take this photo was I put this loop up to my iPhone's lens, and then I took a picture that way. And this is the exact loop I used as the model for the loop that Nancy carries around with her in the Crimson Diamond. And I wanted a brass one because I just like the brass better than the steel one, stainless steel. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful green color. And yes, here is the loop that I have, the one I'm holding. And here it is in game. Yeah, salt is a mineral. It's a crystal. Sodium chloride, yep. And there's one more thing I wanted to show. I mentioned that um, there are other green gems besides emerald, but chrome diopside is the most economical of them. This is another green gemstone that is actually rarer, more rare than emerald. It's more rare than diamonds. This is a Savorite Garnet, and this is actually the largest Savorite Garnet in the world. It's a garnet, but it has, I believe it's chromium as well, which is turning it this gorgeous green color. And although it is rarer than diamonds, it is cheaper than diamonds because it obviously doesn't have a multinational conglomerate controlling the market on it. And it actually comes from very few places. I think it only comes from 2 or 3 places on Earth that they've found so far. But this is Savorite Garnet. And here are some more examples of Savorite Garnet. So this is another beautiful stone. Sometimes it's called... No, wait. Chrome diopside is sometimes called Siberian Emerald. I don't know what they call Savorite Garnet besides Savorite Garnet. And that's T-S-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. This is Savorite Garnet set into a ring. And it's a beautiful... it's a bit more of a grassy green, warm green, I'd say. Emerald has that more bluish green. Here's some like rough Savorite garnets. This is a chrome tourmaline. It's a tourmaline that has chromium in it, turning it green. It's a very similar color as well. But there aren't a lot of really rich green gemstones out there that can be cut into gems. And so this one here, I'm going to try to rotate this. Okay, this little guy, this is a sterling silver octopus with Savorite Garnet eyes. And the little ball underneath is black coral. And this is my one little bit of Savorite Garnets that I have. Yes, green candy, green jelly. Yes. Here it is. This is under the loop. So I use the same loop here. And it's actually quite small. Got it here. But here's the little guy under the loop magnification, and you've got his pretty green Savorite Garnet eyes. Yep. So that's that. That is chrome diopside. Here's a little guy. Anyway. Beautiful, a little bit brittle, and I would like to see more of it. I would like to own more of it. I'd like to wear more of it in jewelry. But this piece is good enough for now. There you go. So that is that. That is chrome diopside. I still have some jewelry materials I'm working through, and I'm hoping that I've got one especially that I want to do, but I don't have the right materials to show that yet. In which case there might be a bit of a different little presentation talk next art stream, but we'll see. I'm not sure. Back to Photoshop. Oh yeah, opacity again. Ugh. Oh, thanks, Fractal Mind Mike. I'm glad you like the necklace. Yeah, I like it's fun to make my own jewelry and just buying the materials because you can pick and choose exactly what you want. And I'm able to when you do that, when you make your own, of course, you can you can get better materials than if you were just to buy the necklace or whatever yourself. And it's fun. It's really fun to do. Ooh, bao and wonton soup. Oh my gosh, Fractal Mind Mike. Or you can be economical and eat a sandwich. Ooh, what kind of sandwich though? Bao and I love wonton soup. I want wonton soup. Bao sounds excellent. I'm actually getting hungry too. Vegemite. Okay, I've never had. Oh no, no bao available on Uber Eats right now. Yeah, Uber Eats is it is dangerous. It's just too dangerous. Oh, HC Willage, you have a writing job and they want family-friendly sea shanties. Oh, are you watching Pirates of the Caribbean? Those movies? Family-friendly sea shanties. Yeah, it sounds kind of fun. I can't. I agree with Fractal Mind Mike H.C. Willard. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Hopefully, some of the music that's on stream today will be a little bit inspiring for you. Oh, you don't want to watch the show? Oh, Tinkerbell pirate stuff. Yes, and watch the pirate song from Curse of Monkey Island. I didn't. This Tinkerbell the pirate fairy. I did not know of a thing like this. These pixels are really standing out. Ah, there's a Canadian Irish band on YouTube from the 70s called Ryan's Fancy. They have so many sea shanties. Yeah, sea shanties had a moment there, didn't they? On TikTok or something. This, I don't know. Could this be a sea shanty? I don't know. This kind of sounds like the Curse of Monkey Island song. That's why I say that. Oh, this is a French Canadian folk song. Nice. Jim Matt, do you know the name of it? This sound font that Falco MIDI has is quite good. I'm quite a fan. This tree is giving me some trouble. This tree that's in between these other trees. I quite like this piece actually. Yeah, this one's fun. This tree is too tall. It would be cool if Dan and I could release some sort of cassette tape or something for the game. That would be fun. Let's see. I'm just going over my notes and make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, I think I'm good. Okay. Is there a Fractal Mind Mike, did you make that up? Is there a Loom audio drama cassette tape? Marsmas, do you have a cassette player poll? Whoa, Loom audio, that's cool. Oh, I would love to have the Crimson Diamond as a radio drama. That would be amazing. That, and I don't think that would be too hard to, well, not too hard, but too expensive to do. I would kind of love that. H.C. Willard says the writing job is a little different. It's for a pirate-themed restaurant and water theme park. That's really cool. Ooh, Skyrim roleplay podcasts. I love that radio theater type of thing. And I was also thinking how fun it would be if, because I'm sure by the time the Crimson Diamond launches, COVID will be a distant memory. And I don't know if that has to do with how long it's going to take for me to finish this game versus how soon COVID will be done with for the most part. But it would be really cool to do a launch party and have some of these folk tunes and Dan's music too played live. Yes, Practical Mind Mike, your voiceover of the Crimson Diamond was wonderful. Oh, Practical Mind Mike, you'd be happy to do voice parts? Cool. For the radio play? I want to do that. I do. That would be so much fun. Cosmo Void 3 always thought Dan was Canadian because of his association with the game. Yeah, I don't know, for some reason a lot of people are under this impression that Dan is in Canada or Canadian. Dan is not. Dan is in the NYC area. Yes, yeah, Dan is from his own planet. And it's full of really cool stuff. Gotta feel like he would do his show off hardware or software thing even without the channel point stuff, and actually he can be persuaded to do that. It was funny watching Dan's composer panel on Lockdown Con, because he was talking about how one of his favorite or formative years of listening to game music was that Fairy Tale Adventures game, and he's telling Neil this, and Neil said, "Oh yeah, I know that guy. I know that guy who composed for that." Yeah, Deluxe Tux says the fact you can only raid people on Twitch who are geographically close. Yeah, there's a range. It's like getting food delivered. It's like Uber Eats. There's a range where you can get the food delivered. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Dan's here right now. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want when he's here. And also, Dan showed off his big box of the Planet's Edge game that Neil worked on as well. That was really cool. Rasmus, you think Dan had that prepared? All set? Yeah, it's even more impressive if he did, because it's easy to find out what people are up to or what they've done beforehand, and I like to do that too because I wanted to have the context of what the other panelists had done, which was really cool. And I really need to play Betrayal of Krondor. Mm, 10 o'clock. I'm getting kind of hungry. Hmm. I have a little fruit plate here. I might take a bit of a break, and then we'll go until maybe 10:30 or so of this. Just working on these little trees. Hmm. Staring at that fish the whole time would make anyone hungry. Oh, this fish, this glorious, however many pixels that is fish. All right. Hmm. I'm gonna I'm gonna mute the mic so you don't have to hear me eating this. But if you guys have any questions in chat, you want to post about any aspect of the art or Crimson Diamond development stuff. Oh, Crit Rocket Runner, good to see you. Yes. Yeah, we're having a really nice evening, and yes, may the opacity stay at an integer. And I keep on changing it because my OBS shortcuts. Look, it's back at 50% because I press Shift 5 and the 5 makes it go 50. I don't like it. I don't like it. You've ordered your food. If I've done one good thing tonight, Fractal Mind Mike is having wonton soup and bao. I think I could eat the pear with minimum interference because it's kind of soft, but the apple I'm gonna mute. Okay. Maximus wants to know: do you have the story for the Crimson Diamond all completely worked out? And you wonder when, how does one do story versus art versus puzzles? Okay, yeah. Um, the story is all worked out. The broad strokes are worked out. So I know what happens and when it happens and why, all those things. But stuff like the dialogue and the finer points are kind of I develop as I'm developing each chapter. And I did this thing that probably is not the right way to do things, but I did not develop the entire game from beginning to end, like code it and then put in assets. I've been developing it chapter by chapter because when I first started working on it, I needed to have a demo ready for wordplay when I was going to show it at the first event that I was ever going to show it at. And so I said, okay, I need to finish chapter 1. And so after I finished chapter 1 and I showed it, I thought, okay, well, I guess I should start chapter 2 then and finish chapter 2. And it just made sense for me to develop that way. So I've kind of developed each chapter in its entirety. But I don't know if that's the way people are supposed to do things or what. Because I think Francisco has developed Rosewater all through, coded it and everything. I haven't done that. No, Cosmo 43. It's unfortunately only going to be in English. Um, but yeah, so in terms of I have not to say that I figured out or I have a process for it, but it just seems organically to happen this way. So when I start a new chapter, I write notes on like a legal pad about I try to separate, okay, here are the events that are happening in this chapter, and does it happen at the first part of the chapter, second part, third part, or whatever happens. And then after those main events, I figure out, okay, well, where are people going to be when these things are happening, and when they move from place to place, where are they moving and why are they moving those places. If they have something new to say about something, I have to make sure they what they're saying reflects what has happened in the story. Puzzles, all the puzzles are figured out. No, that's not true. That's not true. Um, the broad strokes of what the puzzles are going to be, I guess, are figured out. But as I'm developing a chapter, sometimes I'll say, oh, I need to add a bit here, or it makes more sense for me to develop further this bit so that the player understands better what's going on. So that does change things. And then after I do that and just write everything on paper, what is going to happen, I start coding that first little section, and then the flags for that section, and then second section, third section, and then I come up with a list of what the assets are going to be that I'm going to need to develop. So new inventory items, new animations. So I'll write that on a legal pad as well, and have checkboxes beside those things. And after that is, I guess, testing. So yeah, it comes from planning to coding to assets. That's how I tend to do things. And do I want puzzle idea suggestions? The puzzles that I design for the game, I try to make them be logical for what's happening, and yeah, it's not a matter of, okay, well, I need to add more gameplay. It's just a matter of this is what needs to happen in the story, and how can I make those things happen, or how can Nancy make those things happen? That's how I kind of look at it. Yeah, Maximus. Yeah, a world first, broad story, detail as I go. Yeah, yeah, because the detail, um, you need the broad strokes have to be down and sound first, and because the details can change. It's easy to change details more than the fundamental stuff. Although I say that now, but I just mentioned at the top of the stream that for chapter 4, I've decided to make the main story progression what was once optional in chapter 4, and the optional stuff is and the main stuff is going to be the optional stuff, because I realized that something that happens at the end of chapter 3 leading into chapter 4, the player was going to be motivated to be doing something in chapter 4 that I had made optional, but I'm sure that would be their priority. And so I've kind of had to overhaul it a little bit just after realizing that. Yeah, I'm definitely not doing any dead man walking scenario type of puzzles. Um, but yeah, when I'm coding, I will just put placeholder whatever art for inventory items and things like that, and I'll go back and I'll update them. And I'll try as much as possible to reuse animations that I've already developed in the game, but oftentimes that isn't the case. But it's kind of funny because when I think, okay, well, I know everything that's going to happen, but when you get to the detail, it becomes there are still a lot of decisions that have to be made about how those things are going to happen specifically and where. Well, I'm glad you guys are looking forward to playing it. Ooh, Great Rocket Runner is asking, what are my favorite bits to do? I'm guessing the deaths. Hmm, that is a good question. What are my favorite parts to do? I I tend not to really enjoy doing the animations, especially if they're really long animations. Some of the animations, the longest ones are the 40 frames, 40 plus frames. But I do have to say, once they're implemented in the game and I've made them come to life, it's really cool to see that happen. I love seeing new animations implemented. Um, I also really like writing the dialogue because that's a lot easier to implement, and um, it's fun to write that stuff with the characters in mind and what they're thinking and how they're feeling, and trying to convey each each character's consistent tone. I think that's a lot of fun, and I actually have never really had an opportunity to do that type of creative writing. In fact, this is really the first creative writing I've done since high school. Besides writing essays, which are essays for university or whatever. Actually writing stuff like this has been a really different experience for me, and I'm really super enjoying it. Um, yes, yes, Laura Bow, Colonel's Book Quest for sure. It's very Laura Bow, and it is like that on purpose because um, EGA text parser mystery adventure for sure, and that was what I looked at the most when I was first starting the game. Hello, Simon Inc. Simon K. Simon K. 1176. Hello, hello. Yes, yeah, it is. It is very much those things, but it's its own thing. Um, I've always wanted to make my own thing, and yes, it looks like Laura Bow. Even the sprite kind of looks a little like Laura Bow. But if you actually put them side by side, they're quite different looking, and I did that on purpose. But it's been super fun to do, and see it's been super fun seeing people react to it and saying this looks like a lost game from back in that time. Yeah, the writing the story, Maximus, it's challenging because in a way the player is controlling how much of the story they're actually seeing, and so I have to be very mindful of, are they the stuff, the broadest strokes of the story have to be unmissable, and it has to make sense for a player who is playing it kind of breezing through it. They have to get something out of it that makes sense. But at the same time, I want to add all these other things, all the story and detail, that if players are willing to engage in conversations with the characters and ask them the right things at the right times, they will be rewarded with some more insight into what's going on. So I'm very aware, and that's why I mentioned in chapter 4 the main progression of the story and the side stuff. Every chapter I try to do that because I know people will want to play it in different ways. And I know that because I've watched people play it in different ways. You know, some people are into every cupboard and they're asking everybody about everyone else and all that. And I want to make sure that if someone does that, then that they're going to get something out of it. How many, if any, people have you run the story through so far? Mousimus, very good question. Not very many. I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone knows how it ends, except for me. I haven't really told many people, if any people, that I have. So. Dan, you're late. Dan, we start at 8. I've been killing time this whole time. Oh, Fractal Mind Mike says, I liked that I did extremely poorly on my first The Colonel's Bequest playthrough, but I still had fun and wanted to replay immediately when I was done. That's the beauty of that game design. And how it's so different from all the other games, the Sierra adventure games that come before it. And I kind of wanted the Crimson Diamond to be like that somewhat, but it's not going to be as easy to stumble through like the Colonel's Bequest was. But I love that about the Colonel's Bequest. You can just, and some people have done playthroughs like that with narration where they just are walking aimlessly and triggering stuff and they get through the game and they get the lowest score, and it's kind of wonderful. Yes, Dan is early for next week. So you're going to stay here, so you're going to be in chat this whole time until then? Is that what I'm hearing? Oh, nice. Fractal Mind Mike has the both emojis. Yes, and we have gushed a little bit about your work, Dan. That Pursuit theme that we did last music stream was amazing. It's probably one of my favorites. And yeah, Dan, of course, as Nightbot just put down, is he was on that last panel on Sunday for the composers panel, and I listened to it. And it was great, even though a lot of it I didn't understand. But that should be a really good thing for actual musician people and music geeks and nerds, because they go into it a little bit, and it's kind of fascinating. Yeah, if you play Colonel's Bequest blind, you will have a bad end. And I will tell you, I very nearly put a chandelier like that in the Crimson Diamond. In the there's some preliminary hallway art where in the upper part of the lodge you can see a chandelier. And if you did walk in a particular area, it would fall. But I decided against it because it's just too cruel, isn't it? Dan, can you stream next week? Can you come Tuesday and do more music? We're thinking of having a review of everything that's come before. Yeah, yeah, the carpet should be like have a giant X pattern on it. Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Fractal Mind Mike says the chandelier got me a lot of times. Even after I knew what happened, I laughed every time. That's only encouraging me to do it. Yeah, Easter eggs and references, tough balance. To not to get too cheesy. That's true. So let's, I'm going to go back to Photoshop, Shift 8, which immediately takes my opacity to 80%. Thank you, Adobe. I know I should do it. Okay, to be decided on next week. Okay, that's cool, Dan. We'll figure something out. If not, then they're just going to see more of this, you know? Or maybe I'll do another Art Nouveau recreation. Are you encouraging me to make a death chandelier in the Crimson Diamond? People will curse your name, Fractal Mind Mike. It's so tempting. It could be a death piano. Wait, this is just a piano just suspended over the hallway. No reason. Okay. Now what's bugging me the most is this weird shoreline. Something should be done. This looks like a hill that's leading downward, so I don't really need to do much there. Just a Jeffy asks, is there a lot of death in the game? I think in the demo there are 2 deaths in the game. So you can die twice, but you have to work for it. I don't make it easy for the player to die. There's plenty of warning. And in the full game so far, I think there's only 3 deaths. Although I really do want to put more in there. Is it weird if I put grass here? I feel like the grass will look strange. Yeah, it's too far. We're not going to do that. It could fall and Nancy could sidestep it. Winding staircases. No, the only staircase in the lodge is kind of hidden, and so you don't even get an opportunity to fall down it, which is a bit of a missed opportunity. Yes. Oh yeah, there's something in the carpet, just a little kink, or she stubs her toe in it and she falls. Yeah, yeah, I don't have anything like that in the game where it's just instant death. No, it doesn't happen. Fractal Mind Mike says, put a cryptic checkbox in the options. Chandelier, yes or no. Toggle chandelier. Yes. Yes, Fractal Mind Mike did find one of the deaths. It takes a while. It takes more than it should, really. But yeah, I had to. It was too much to resist having deaths in the game because people just like them so much, and it's fun to make them. Yes, just a Jeffy Stair Quest is. I've not played it. I've watched a Let's Play of it, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I think it's free, right? Stair Quest. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's one or the other. You either go, you either make the deaths a little tricky, or you just go completely the other way and just make it all about that. They should pay you to play Stair Quest, Dan. Slash Studio says people expect deaths for sure. You think that the way I did it, that infrequent and you have to work for them is a good way to go? Yeah, you have to really be motivated to have that happen in the game. Oh, and yes, Stair Quest was Adventure Game Studio, and I do keep forgetting that too. But yeah, it's good to be reminded. Like I keep forgetting Theropods is Adventure Game Studio too, because for some reason I don't know, it doesn't look like a Adventure Game Studio game to me, for whatever that means. Because people have told me the Crimson Diamond doesn't look like an Adventure Game Studio game either. If you don't get consumed by 50 flesh-eating beetles, you won't be satisfied in the game. Aha! Replayability, Maximus asks. Anything player would be enticed to do differently if they knew the story. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing because, yeah, there will be branching endings that will be based on what the player decides to do. That's in terms of what would they would be enticed to do differently if they knew the story. Possibly, yeah. Will be their scene of death by cormorants? Possibly. And Crit Rocket Runner has redeemed watercolor cat card. Perfect. Yes, Dan. How is the theropod stream? I have never seemed to be awake or around for that. Deluxe Tech says for you, the replayability comes from messing with the parser and trying to find new things to do. Yeah. So yeah, there are conversations and stuff. I will move this to Big Julia view because we're gonna do a show cat watercolor card. But yeah, there are definitely conversations and things that you can miss if you just follow the notebook game progression prompts. And so hopefully, yeah, players will get a chance to see those things potentially. I'm not sure how I'll indicate to them that they've missed certain things. Maybe like the Colonel's Bequest does at the end. I'm not sure. Ah, and making the deaths and making a death log. I see. Yes, making the death a collectible. Oh, and Dan has redeemed show old published artwork. Okay, so we'll do both of those things. Yeah, the SEI games were pretty creepy and deadly. 11043. And I'm even thinking about stuff like the Manhunter games, which were super creepy and ultra deadly. Oh no, Theropods is great because Costas tells more dad jokes than Dan does. Okay, we're first gonna do. I'm gonna get the cat cards. Okay, what do we have? Oops. Oh. Okay. Cat card time. 1 second. This is a Happy Father's Day card from 2015, as you can see. And yeah, so my parents would go bird watching, and these are probably some birds they saw on a recent, well, not a recent, they probably saw on an outing. And I think this is a chipping sparrow. I don't know what this one is. And this is a cedar waxwing. And cedar waxwings are one of my favorite birds, actually. They're really, really beautiful birds. They kind of look like cardinals. You can see they've got the same crest along the top. But they've got this beautiful body that's kind of grayish, brownish, but then the bottom of the belly is a little yellowish. And then they've got these great wingtips, bright red and bright yellow on their tails. And this great mask that they have on their faces too. And they do eat a lot of cherries. There's a cherry tree in a backyard of a neighbor, and so they seem to come to eat that stuff. They really seem to enjoy that. And actually, this past spring, we had about 7 cedar waxwings stop by the bird bath for a couple days. You know, they'd come and go here and there, and it was spectacular to see so many cedar waxwings together. And now that the cherries have started to come in, my mom is thinking that they might make a return trip for some cherries. Visual collectibles. Steam achievements would be cool. I have to figure out how to do those. Could probably ask Francisco or something. Yes, Phoenicia. These are some burbs. Yeah, my parents loved bird watching, so a lot of the cards have birds. And of course, on the upper side here we have Dido Cat, who is dearly departed, but she still is in these cards. Oh, good. Blux Talks is great. You're now watching Fractal Mind Mike streams. Awesome. That's that. Next is going to be another published piece. Goldie Thoughts, thanks for the follow. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to put this over here. Okay. Second piece. This is a published piece, so for those who don't know, I was a freelance illustrator for 10 years. I specialized in editorial illustration, which is working for newspapers and magazines. And this is... Hold on. It says Financial Post, but this was a... this is just a subsection of the National Post, which is one of Canada's newspapers. And so this one... Oh, add achievements for some unusual things you've added that I'm proud of, like the shower death. Yes, I would love to add achievements when I know how to do that. This piece for the Weekend Post. This was for... Pieces called Balancing Fact, as you can see. So I probably would have, when I got the assignment, I probably would have gotten this headline. And then the text here says, in a new cultural history of the circus, Duncan Wall delves into an art form that nearly died out with vaudeville. And it's called Balancing Facts. So that's the piece. And so yeah, I knew it was for some kind of book thing, and I knew that headline. I don't know if I got the actual full... I'm just gonna check. I'm gonna check the actual article to see if I actually got more than that. Oh yeah, I think I got the full thing here. It talks about him running away to join the circus for real, and he wrote his book called The Ordinary Acrobat. Yeah, so I knew it was for the book section of the National Post, and I knew it was about a circus. Dan, is there a crazy turnaround time required on these illustrations? Yes. Yes, there are. And I actually have a really good story about another National Post piece I did that was for... it was for the new year, and it was astrological symbols, all 12 of them. So it was basically like doing 12 illustrations, and that was a lot. This one probably, I don't know. I don't remember what the turnaround was on this. It could have been 3 days, a week, maybe a week. I have no idea actually how long this was a while ago. This was March the 9th, 2013. So this was more than 8 years ago. I know sometimes Maclean's would be the next day, because they're a weekly magazine and their deadline, they're just throughput and deadlines were super quick. But this one, you can see, it's a limited palette. I kind of always gravitated toward limited palettes. But I experimented a bit with some of these gradations and things like that. But challenging and fun, though, to make such a big illustration printed in a national publication. So that was a fun one. And I quite like the way this one turned out. And the thing is yeah, with stuff like newspapers and magazines that have quick turnaround, it's challenging because, yeah, you have to come up with some compositions, and usually I try to send them maybe at least 2, if not 3 different compositions for them to pick from. And so that's a lot of time generating those things. And then, you need to make them look good enough so that they know what they're looking at and can evaluate them on their merits. And after that, there's still so much to do. You have to clean it up and do a final and all that. A lot of late nights. And Crit Rocket Runner, I have seen Knives Out. I've seen it a few times, and I think it's fantastic. So there's so much to like about it. I love the cast. I love, Christopher Plummer is, rest in peace, Christopher Plummer. He's fantastic in it. Everyone is having so much fun in that movie. And the house is gorgeous. And it's a great modern take on, like almost a cozy mystery. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And I think it's on Netflix now, potentially. Seems similar to the Crimson Diamond vibe. Nice. Yes, and I know they're making more of them, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I love the term. What was it? What was the term that Daniel Craig has in that? It's gravity's rainbow. I think that's a beautiful term. And I kind of hope that yeah, the next the sequel to it in the third movie, I hope they have completely different ensemble casts. Of course, except for I guess the detective character, Blanc, whatever his name was on that, because there's so many amazing actors who would make amazing ensembles, and I just want to see more of that for sure. Yes, Daniel Craig's comically overdone Southern accents. Hey, Goldie Thoughts, good to see you. Hello, thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming to chat and saying hello. I really appreciate it. It's good to meet you again. This is our third time meeting, I believe. Okay, ooh, it is 10:33. I think hold on, let me just I'm going to go back to Photoshop real quick. I think we're going to close this out. 10:30. Yeah, I'm still working I I'm still working on chapter 4. But I went back and I'm fixing it and making it even better, you guys. It's the process. Even though it was officially finished the beginning of April, end of March. I swear, it is getting better than it would have been, and I can take that time, thankfully, because I'm not answering to anybody, which is good and bad. And actually, to tell you the truth, I'm not really working on too much right now aside from this, so I'm really getting to focus back a lot more on the Crimson Diamond than I have been in the past number of months. You know, the Playdate thing and Space Warlord, Organ Trading Simulator, Redacted Project, something else that I also can't talk about yet, but hopefully soon. So it's been busy, but it's been good to be busy. Um, because no matter what, I do want to be in the games industry in some capacity, and taking on these other projects and working with these awesome people is a big part of that. And I know that doing that does push back the Crimson Diamond launch date, but rest assured, I have a plan for it. I want to see it done, and I'll be happy to show it in its completed form, because I do want people to have that and see what that's like and enjoy it, hopefully. But I do apologize for things taking longer than anyone really wants it to take. Yes, good night, Slash Studio. Ooh, P.S. Garrick streaming Quest for Glory 2. Evil Tentacle. I think that you might be onto something with that. Yeah, let's take a look if P.S. Garrick is still on. Deluxe Tux, have a good night. Thanks again always for coming. Now this makes we've waited 25 years, can wait a bit more. I'm glad. I'm glad for you guys not being impatient with it. Because I will get it done. I say that, and I will 100%. It's just a matter of when, but it will get done. And it will get done the right way. And it will get done to my satisfaction. Thank you, Just a Jeffy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's take a look. Let's look at my Twitch. Let's find out about if P.S. Garrick is still streaming Quest for Glory 2, which is probably my favorite Quest for Glory game, because yes, EGA text parser game. Oh, P.S. Garrick is live. Fantastic. Playing Quest for Glory 2, playing the VGA remake of it. Thank you, Evil Tentacle. I'm glad you're looking forward to it too. Yeah, let us raid P.S. Garrick playing the Quest for Glory 2. And yeah, I mean, I guess if we want a raid message, the raid message could be, I don't know, raid message is Crimson, Crimson Diamond. Thanks again, Eating Way, for coming and all your support and just being here as much as you have been. Crimson Diamond raid. Woo. Happy face. I guys, yeah. Don't Hopefully you won't. Hopefully you won't judge my writing there. Oh, I think. Oh, are they on break? What is Grover's World? I don't know what's going on here, but we're gonna go there. If I can figure out how to raid again. Raid. We're raiding PS Garrick, you folks. I will see you there. Next week, we'll be streaming something next week. Whatever it is, we'll figure something out. No, I just need to find the underscore. Okay, there it is. PS Garrick. They seem to be singing right now, and I don't want to interrupt them. But I guess by the time. Okay. Okay, it looks like everyone's here. Okay. I'm just gonna let this raid timer wind down because I don't want to interrupt whatever they're doing right now. Okay, maybe they stopped singing. I don't know. I've got it muted, but I'm watching them. Yeah, they're doing something else. We'll just wait. We'll wait for this to run down. We always pick the worst times. It's fine. No, we'll get this. We'll get this. Okay. Am I gonna have to cancel the raid and then wait again? Yes, raids are hard, you guys. Are they still... Am I gonna have to cancel this and start again? Okay, it's not a raid if it's convenient. Fine. Okay, we're gonna hit it, you guys. Incoming. See you there.